it up. It's the Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Well, it seems what the boss don't care. What a worker man do, put the bread on his table. We all disposable in ready fields. You'll get another sucker that's starving but able. But it's fine, I'm feeling alright. Got a six-pack and an 8-9-10 time for some downtime. I'm just like a dog starving up on table scraps. Woo! My boss man, well, he got a little quirk. Lately he's been a real jerk. We all bust our backs all day. Bust some little pittance of pay. But it's Friday night and I'm feeling alright. Got a six-pack and a 9-9-10 time for some downtime. I'm just like a dog sucking down table scrap. Woo! It's Friday night and I'm feeling alright. Got a six-pack and a 9-9-10 time for some downtime. I'm just like a dog serving up on table scraps. Woo! And a bottle of Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome singer, songwriter, and guitarist Tom Mich to the program. How you doing, Tom?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's a nice day in the neighborhood.
No, I hear you. It's beautiful over here.
Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from, how would you say, Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's a beautiful day. The whole thing is, it's kind of crazy because Selfridge Air Force Base is not like more than about 2 miles away from me. And you might hear an airplane fly over every once in a while.
Okay. Is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up on the west side of Detroit.
Nice. Tigers fan?
Oh, absolutely. No matter how bad they are.
Okay. Well, you got a new manager last year, right? AJ Hinch. He's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole team, actually, I'm really quite surprised that for the last, couple of weeks, they've actually won games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of encouraging.
Yeah, I think they need to spend a little more money and try to promote some of their young guys, too, and maybe they'll start winning some games.
Yep. I mean, I agree with that 100%, but at least we're winning some.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I remember back in the day when Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell, Lance Parrish, they all played for the Tigers. They were great players.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Kirk Gibson, all those guys. I mean, that was a good team back in mid '80s.
Jack Morris was a great pitcher.
Absolutely.
And then you had the manager was Sparky, right?
Yep, Sparky, and then you had Denny McLean.
Yep, and then I guess later on, you guys had Jim Leland too.
Oh, Leland was so cool, but he didn't hold. The local interviews that he had, some of the stuff that he did not hold any punches, and it was cool.
Yeah, I'm a diehard baseball fan. If you didn't notice,
If I didn't catch that,
but I'm a huge Yankees fan. But I live in Myrtle Beach now, but I still root for them.
very good. I mean, as a matter of fact, my old bass player from the Fat lives down, I think, in South Carolina, somewhere in South Carolina. We were talking. We're going to start sharing files and stuff like that. Try to write some more music.
That's cool. Tell me about your musical background. When did you get started in music?
To be honest with you, about 7, 8 years old.
Wow.
I wanted, because my brother and I were really just excited about music. And we never knew that my dad was actually a violinist.
Wow.
And we sat there, and both my brother and I kind of confronted my parents and said, hey, how about a drum set? Or, I would really like to learn how to play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad says, I am not buying you anything until you learn how to play keyboards, because keyboards will give you all the insight that you ever needed.
Mm-hmm.
To where, you learn about, the actual notes, how to build chords and stuff like that. And so I learned piano. And then finally, the test was, okay, play me Moonlight Sonata.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it for him. He goes, okay, that's kind of good. He goes, now sight read this. And he'd just throw out music and put it in front of us, and we'd have to play. And once we passed his test, then he just sat there and said, okay, what do you want? First thing, a Fender Stratocaster. Yeah, because I just got done, the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority just came out, and I was just totally amazed with what Terry Kath did with, that freeform guitar solo. So I sat there and said, I want a Stratocaster. But the picture that they had, he was playing an SG. So when I walked in there, I said, give me a Fender Stratocaster. All of a sudden, I'm expecting to see it as a Gibson SG.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sitting there, what the heck is this? But, okay, I got it. I didn't know how to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took top two strings off, the B and the E string, and I detuned it an octave to learn. Oh, excuse me, but my house is getting shaken right now.
Oh, okay.
Because they're running F-22s over my house.
Wow.
Like I said, I live really close to, Selfridge. But, so if you hear my dog bark, she's probably scared.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because these guys are definitely window rattlers.
Oh, I can imagine.
And they're flying about 2,000 foot above my house. So excuse me if my dog starts going crazy.
Wow.
Like right now, I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I just heard that, yeah.
Like I said, it's crazy.
Wow.
But I get an air show for free.
Yeah, I'm sure. Make sure
But
you get your lungs checked too, from that rocket fuel.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, but no, it's so in turn I learned it. I learned how to play guitar because I'm self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did is, like I said, and I learned, note to note, how to work the fretboard. Then I started adding like the fifth, and added the second string, so I could start playing chords. And then I learned how to play major, minor chords, and all the other stuff after that. And that's how I taught.
Very cool. Now, I read in your bio that you're heavily influenced by, Terry Kath. Talk about what his playing meant to you.
It was really the style of Kath. I mean, because I was born and raised, and I played in a jazz band, I played concert band, marching band, all that other stuff. But anything with horns really got me.
Mm-hmm. And
then when Chicago did CTA, I'm just sitting there saying, this is so cool. Because I was doing, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, anything like that. Heck, the whole Motown situation. And so in turn, I was just into that type of music.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kath brought a style which was just totally, you got a mixture of Hendrix versus, a jazz band.
Right.
And it just caught my attention so quickly that I just had to, I just started, trying to copy his stuff. I mean, like the first tune that I ever, actually played was like, I'm a Man, because he just tears it up.
Right.
And in turn, it was like really, that was so influential to me. And then back in like 1972, my brother was going to Eastern Michigan University, and I actually got to meet the band.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, he was on major events committee, and in turn, we got, we need help setting up the stage. Okay, I'm on. I'm on it.
Nice.
And I mean, it really wasn't like Terry Kath sat down and said, okay, fine, I'm going to teach you this. Nothing like that. Mm-hmm. It was just the fact of, I got to watch him play from a different aspect. I watched his hands. Instead of watching the whole concert, I just sat there and watched his hands and figured out how he was trying to do it.
Very cool.
And yeah, I mean, I'm seriously I'm a self-taught guitar player.
Uh-huh.
I'll keep on hacking around until I actually find something that sounds good, and I'll say, okay, fine, keep it. And I work off of BS 1680, which is a little rolling, 16 track. But all the music that you heard, I played every instrument.
Very nice. Talk to me about your band, The Facts. How did that band get started? Who was in it? And when did it disband?
Actually, it broke up. It broke up in Boston. But how it got started is that I met Mike Wright, the bass player, through him joining our band called Narva, which was the 70s horn band. And then Mike was not really happy because it was just not fitting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he got with a guy named Joe Kimmel, who was really a really fantastic songwriter. And he came up with some tunes. And then they asked me to leave my brother's band, which would probably cause all kinds of rift in the family.
Mm-hmm. But
I sat there and said, okay, I'm going to go with the Facts, because they were just producing this 45. And he goes, look, we're going to go on tour. We're going to chase this thing around. So I said, what do we got? And he goes, it's 4-piece. It's Joe Kimmel playing rhythm guitar and doing lead vocals, Mike Wright on bass. I'm on lead guitar and background vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy named Sean B. Rocks. He was the drummer. And I'll tell you one thing. That dude was solid as a rock. And so we just, it was like a thrash band. And I really enjoyed that for a while, just because it was definite a break from being so, how would you say, you got to be meticulous. You know, you might have like a little guitar riff that's going to lead into a horn riff, this, that, and the other thing. So in turn, you know, it wasn't as regimented, and it was just like a free for all. And I loved it because I would just sit there and say, okay, fine. I think I'm going to throw this in right here.
Nice.
And it was a fun band, but we broke up in Boston, and I was left in Boston because they took off of my car.
They did what?
They took off of my car.
Wow. What kind of car did they take?
It was a 1972 Montego.
Oh, wow.
That had a trailer on the back.
Did you ever get it back?
Yeah, I did when I got back home.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but, you know, it was like, hey, thanks for the ride.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there saying, you know, that was not cool because it was in the middle of the wintertime, and I'm walking because I had a job about a mile down the road. And here I am sitting there in the middle of wintertime in Boston, Massachusetts, in the middle of one of these nor'easter snowstorms, and I'm walking to work.
Yeah, that must have been brutal.
It was, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I actually did enjoy it, to be honest and truth with you, because it was just like, okay, fine. There ain't nothing going to get me back down. You know, I mean, ain't nothing going to beat me down. And, you know, thanks to Joe, and Joe was, because that's when I was living with Joe at 30 Dragon Court in Woburn, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work right across from 128, which is I-95, at Woburn Farm Motors, which was a Jaguar Rover Triumph dealership. So it was kind of cool. I was driving Jaguars all day.
Very nice. Now, how many albums did you record with the Facts?
The Facts, we did the 45, and that was the end of it.
Oh, okay.
The stuff that I released that I Want to Cry is on is after my third ex-wife. Sorry about that. My third ex. And I moved back into my mom's house. And my brother died a few years before that. And she goes, I don't know what this box is all about, but here, Ed ordered it, and it's from Roland. So I opened it up, and it's a brand new VS 1680 with all the, you know, with all the sound cards in it.
Wow.
And all the, you know, the extended memory in it, and CD burner and all that other stuff. And I'm sitting there saying, Ed never even touched this.
How long was it sitting there?
It was sitting there for 2 years.
Wow.
Because my brother died in 2001. So when I got divorced in 2003, I moved back in with my mom for a while.
Okay.
And she goes, here, I don't know what this box is all about. And so I opened it up. I said, do you realize what this is? You know, it's a complete digital workstation. She goes, yeah, Ed mentioned something about that. And so I sat there and figured out how to use it. And that's how I recorded the album I Am Me.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that a little bit. Tell me about the album. Is there any guest players on the album? Is it all you?
No, it's totally all me.
Okay.
That's how come sometimes the vocals aren't really all that good because I sound like a Volga boatman every once in a while. You know, yo. But it's totally written by myself. Actually, sitting upstairs in my brother's old bedroom, my mom owned a bungalow in Detroit. So I took everything upstairs and sat there, and I'd get home from like working, and I would just sit there and play my guitar. And to be honest and truth with you, we're even going to get more into this because all the keyboards, the horns, the bass are all done on a Roland GR33 synthesizer.
Wow.
All that stuff is done between 3 different components: my guitar, my Roland GR33, and a Dr. Rhythm drum machine.
Nice.
And that was it. And then my vocals.
Okay, so when you titled this album "I Am Me," it really is all you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's totally me. And if you notice, right up there in the corner, it'll say, to whoever you are. That's where I said, I am me.
That's awesome. Now, how long did it take you to record all these tracks on this album?
Let's see. I did those 15 tracks in about 6 months.
That's not bad at all.
No, I mean, it was really pretty cool. I mean, it went really good because I did nothing but just go to work, go to school, because I was learning how to I was going for a broadcast communications degree. And, I'd get home from school and stuff like that, or work, and say, okay, fine. Ma, what's for dinner? Nothing. Whatever you're planning on making. And then I'd whip us up some dinner, and then I'd just go upstairs and slap on the headset and start playing.
That's awesome. And you said 6 months, right? It took you to do it?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Now, this podcast is going to feature 2 of the tracks off that album, Table Scraps and I Want to Cry. What's the story behind those 2 songs?
Okay. I Want to Cry. Excuse me. I Want to Cry was written over the fact of, God, I wish these guys could get out. But it's kind of cool. But no, I Want to Cry was written when I first got back home at my mom's house after me and my ex-wife broke up. And she would, every time, because she used to sit there and she'd kick me out. I'd go home to my mom's place for a day or two, and then she'd call me back. So every time the phone would ring, I'd be sitting there saying, hopefully it's you on the other end of this thing. And that's how I came up with the words for that tune. And just being such a kind of, how would you say, a tune that wants to express my feelings of how much I want her to call me, because I refused to call you. You told me to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And so in turn, I'm just hoping that she's going to call back one more time and say, why don't you come on home? But that never did happen, which was good. Good.
Things happen for a reason.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's good. But yeah, I wrote that. There's another tune on that. If you went to my actual YouTube page, there's another one that's called Mentally Abused.
Mm-hmm. Track 4.
And what there was one time that she did call. And, sorry, I must have dialed the wrong number. Okay. You didn't know they have no, excuse my friend, but you didn't know my number? Come on now. And so that was Mentally Abused. I mean, Bad Acid Trip is another one that I wrote.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that song based on an actual experience?
Yeah. I mean, all those tunes except for like Woman, Only You. Seeing that my brother died, I got the rights for that, and I redid that one.
Mm-hmm.
Only You is a really, I mean, that tune was written back in the 70s between me and my brother.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to redo it because I didn't have an open track. I didn't have a recording of it. I mean, the last time that we recorded together between my brother and I, we were still using a big old Tascam 16 track.
Okay.
And I had no way of playing it back to where I could master it down and make something out of it. So I just said, I'm going to rewrite it and replay it. Hell, I played pretty much every track on that, right from the word go.
Mm-hmm.
When Ed and I wrote that thing way back in the 70s.
Wow.
So I said, I pretty much know this tune, so I'm going to make my own little version of it. And Learning was another one that I wrote, which was about learning how to live after being married a couple hundred times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, learning to live my life again. Because you get so used to being with somebody, and then all of a sudden you got to learn how to not to be with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, all these are real life experiences for me.
Dear Kathy.
Dear Kathy, that was her name. That was my third ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
Dear Kathy, here's what I think of you.
Wow.
Excuse me, but spare me the bullshit.
Right.
I mean, and I probably could have used that line a little bit less, but that was part of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just couldn't get away from that. And seriously, that was, I mean, the whole album is almost hate to for all the women that have beat my butt up all these years. And I just needed to get it off my chest.
Now, is this album available anywhere right now?
Right now, the only place you can really get it is on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can download it from there. I have not gotten any further than, working with Joe, and he put out Table Scraps, and I Want to Cry.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I'm trying to figure out how to make. I need to get this stuff out.
You know what you should do, Tom? You should get a Bandcamp account, and then you could sell these songs digitally on that website.
Okay. Because I was looking at TuneCore.
That's another one too. I know a friend of mine. He uses Bandcamp, and he just put out an album on there, and he gives you the option to buy the album, digital copy. It's like $7.99, or if you want the physical, then you got to pay like $12, and he'll mail you a copy of that. But I mean, you could upload all your tunes to Bandcamp, have your own page on there, and then people would just buy the digital download. You don't even have to worry about pressing CDs.
Okay, I mean, because seriously, this is my whole thing right now. I've been a member of ASCAP since like the late 70s, early 80s.
Right.
And I'm looking at my account because I'm an actual, I'm registered as a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm registered as an actual publishing company.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, I'm not making any money.
Yeah. You should try one of those sites.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about doing. I was talking with Joe about that, and I'm sitting there saying, I got to figure out something because, I'm actually starting to get up in age, and
mm-hmm.
I would like to think about retirement.
Right.
I mean, because between you, me, and the fence post, heck, I'm 64 years old.
Okay.
And, I was born in 58.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really like to have some supplemental income so I can, actually walk away from the workforce and start getting my Social Security benefits.
Yeah, you should try doing one of those sites. I mean, it's not like you need any overhead or anything like that. You're basically uploading all your tracks on there. You could upload the whole album, I Am Me, and then you could, if you have a couple of singles from the Facts, you could put them on there too, and then use your YouTube page to market the Bandcamp or the other site that you were talking about. You never know. You might get some takers, and they'll start ordering it from you.
I mean, put it this way. All I just know is that I would really, really just love to have, for one thing, I'm totally floored that I'm actually talking to you right now.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out to do it.
Oh, I was hook, line, and sinker on that thing. As soon as Joe told me, he goes, "Man, you got to talk to this guy named Jimmy." I said,
"Yeah, he's a good guy."
Yeah, Joe is really fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I really love the effort that he puts into promoting everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And he is one stellar guy.
Yeah, he's very he's on top of his game. I mean, he provided me with more than enough material to speak to you. He's very organized, and he's a good guy. He's very passionate about what he does.
Yes, he is.
And there's not too many people like that around.
I hear you on that.
So
getting into Table Scraps.
Yes.
Table Scraps. I wrote that tune on a Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me all of about 3 hours to do.
Okay.
No, okay, maybe 4.
Still not bad.
I was so mad at my boss because I was usually doing like 10 to 11 hours a day, an hour ride each way to work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I needed to make up some time or needed a little bit of extra cash, I could come in on Saturday because the place is open 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, I need to like this a little bit more. So can I come in on Saturday? He goes, nope. I said, you got to be kidding me. You've never said no to me. And so in turn, that's where table scraps came up. Well, my boss has got a little quirk. Lately he's been kind of a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just my feelings at that time. And then I sat there and I was living downstairs in the basement at Cheryl's place, and she, has got a good voice. She's trying to be like a songwriter and stuff like that. So I said, hey, come on down here and put some background vocals on it. So let's do this chorus. And that's how Cheryl got involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nothing but my response to my boss telling me I can't work. And I really needed the money.
Yeah, and it pissed you off, right?
You got that right.
Does he know the song is about him? Or you never told him?
Never told him. He's listened to it. He goes, man, that's really good.
Oh, okay. So do you still work for him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I've worked for him for the last 19 years.
Wow.
Sometimes I say some stuff to him that he really looks at me like, man, you're pushing the envelope.
Uh-huh.
But then again, you're not. I've been there for 19 years. It's not like it's not like I do this every day.
No, you know what he knows? He knows that if he gets rid of your ass and tries to replace you with one of these young punks, they're not going to do half the shit that you do. So he's going to let you, say what you want to say as long as you keep it respectful.
Right. Exactly. Because I've been in, we have company meetings like every other month and stuff like that. And it's just like, I've spoken out a couple times to where I probably should have been fired.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one time when I called him the skirt because he used to wear a white shirt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was our foreman, and I called him the skirt. And then it was, okay, fine, we're going to take away a 3:00 break, but if you take a lunch, you get 45 minutes instead of a half an hour, and then you get 15 minutes paid. I said, well, okay, great. That sounds cool, because at 12:30 till 12:45, don't bug me, because I'm on break with the rest of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he goes, Mich, we got to talk after, but not right now. So I got pulled in the office. He was threatening to fire me.
Mm-hmm.
And Craig goes, you don't fire people. You don't have that authority yet. He goes, yeah. 2 weeks later, the boy's gone, and I still got my job. So it was like, come on now.
And you said you've been there 19 years, huh?
Yep.
You're in the auto business, right?
Yes. We actually am not really in the auto business per se.
Mm-hmm.
We actually make high-performance manual transmissions.
Nice.
We do Pro Stock and NHRA. In fact, Craig and Liberty Gears is actually, they've got their patent on the clutchless transmission and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For drag racing. We do all kinds of modifications for any type of manual trans.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even see any cars. They got to pull the trans, bring it in. I don't care if it's in a box or whatever, but
right.
You can drag it in with ball and chain for all I care.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we do. We build manual transmission.
So when you get out of work, that's when you have your me time, and that's when you work on your music?
Correct.
Well, that's going to do it for part 1 of this podcast. Stay tuned for part 2. In the meantime, check out this great tune.
Yeah. Every time that the telephone rang, oh baby,
I ain't fooling around. Sitting in the basement, just writing some songs. Sitting here just thinking, baby, what went wrong? I can't believe that you be thinking that way. 'Cause I ain't making no U-turns on Judgment Day. I can't bear this, can't you spare this? Spare the bullshit that you're sending my way. Pick up that thing and make my heart ring. Don't be throwing our love away. I reach for that thing about 1,000 times, but I can't pick it up and call you, 'cause the broken heart's mine. I love you, baby, love you with all of my heart, but I thought you understood that right from the start. I wanna Sit by, about 4:45. Sitting by, just barely alive. Not saying nothing, you know you're killing me slow. I can't stand it, I can't stand it, I'm just letting you know that the hurt is so deep inside that it can't come out. And the pain is so brutal that I gotta shout. I miss you, wanna kiss you, baby, rub your back low.